Hi, once again, this is a continuation of kind of the series we've done on the changing of our facilities here. The last video we posted was just prior to putting in the platform on the scale that we're using in our chute and alleyway here. We've put the scale and platform in our alleyway. That way there are assemblies available that you can put them right underneath your squeeze chute down there, but this way here it's not sitting totally on those load bars all the time, all that weight, because that squeeze chute is probably 2,000 pounds. And putting them here, all we have is the platform itself sitting on the load bars. What we did, as in the prior video, the platform was very accurately drilled out on the fastening bolts that go into the load bars. We squared them up, we installed them, and then we fastened down the load bars and lined the bolts up, and they were dead on. I mean, I was actually kind of impressed. I figured they might have been a little bit off manufacturing, but just due to tolerances. But I went right through and fastened down nice and snug. We snugged them up to basically, well, just snug plus 1/8 of a turn on a socket, deep well socket, and that probably is generally enough. I didn't want to put any more torque on those load bars underneath there. What we did also, because just by the assemblies you're going to end up with some gaps between, in this case it would be the alleyway there and our rear sliding door assembly here, and to kind of prevent their hoofs from sneaking in there and possibly, injury, because they can be a little excited when they go through, we just basically put in some treated blocks. That's all it is. We just stacked it up to fill the gap, make it safer for the animal, and it worked out quite well. We have not run any through yet. We're getting close to that point, and very excited on that part. What I should do is take another pick from the other end. Bear with me. I'm going to walk through the alley. We took one load bar. Actually, I'll show you this also. We put them so that the data cables go from the same side, just for consistency. You'll see that they all come out, in this case, on the left hand side. Well, we looped this one around so we didn't have a hard bend in it, and there's plenty of length on it. So we go around to the right here, you'll see, and then we come tuck underneath and we bring it back through underneath the framework of the alley, or the platform I should say, in the alley. And on this end you can see where it mounts onto the load bar right there. So rather than having a sharp corner or a bend on it, because we're just going to leave it here permanently, that way it's more of a lazy curve. And over time, because up in Minnesota here, we can get a little 20 below action going on, and that way there's no brittle bends on it. And again, between the different parts here, components between the alley and the squeeze chute, now there was also gaps just by virtue of how they're made, and so we filled that in also with some treated and little composite on top for weatherproof. I'm walking through squeeze chute now. I want to take you outside and, sorry for the speed walk there. Show you how we mounted our discharge gate for loading. We have this set up here. I don't have the latch on yet, but this will dual purpose. Will load right out of here, or we just close this gate to the left, latch it on. They have a little isolation area to settle down, and then we move them into the discharge pen if we're treating them and not loading them, doing their health checks. This front gate here, kind of repurpose some material. it will just, because obviously when we're just doing healthcare on the animal or treating them, with that gate closed, that creates the loading chute. That would leave this all the way open. It wouldn't be a good plan there. So we just simply used some of the material that we constructed this facility with and put some Simpson fittings on there. They're actually, we just kind of modified them. They're for 4x4s, structural fittings, and just used them as a place to rest this on. And on the top, we just put a loosely fastened one so we can flip it upward, take it out, and when we need to reinstall it, we flip it down. That is basically so that if an animal does, as it's coming out from the squeeze chute, and we're not loading them obviously, if they were to stick their nose or try to get their head in there or something and lift up, they can't lift that off the posts and help themselves to the outside world here. So we're going to walk down the side. Oops. That there is the head holder, which is going to be an incredible feature to use on this one for everything from ear tagging, dental checking, you know, whatever in the animal that needs to be done on the head part. Can't wait to try that out. That way it's there again much better for the animal and us. We don't get bucked with it, or you're not tying them with a chain or something like that to hold their head to the side. This is how I ran the cables here. I strapped it to the side of the framework of the alley as it comes out of the load bar. That is the front load bar by the squeeze chute. So that one naturally comes right off the load bar in this direction. Strapped it onto the framework, and then we join the load bar on the rear part, which actually loops around the other side of the load bar and back, there again to keep lazy corners. And these block offs for the adjustable alley width, I use them as kind of a shelter for the connectors on the load bar cables. I just basically repurposed some of the adapter gate latch adapters for a narrower type tube gate. Basically made a little archway out of them so there's no edges that are sitting on the cables, and they're permanently set now and kind of weatherproofed within this the block off, so it kind of came in handy. I do not have the monitor up right now, although that's where it will mount. We have the 5i that's going on, and these cables are just the right length to fit into the base of the scale monitor. So we're pretty happy with how this has worked out. And quite honestly, we can't wait to get some use out of this. It's been kind of a journey getting here, and probably within the next day or so we're going to run the first animals through, and we'll probably do a video on that to see how that works and goes for us. And I'm sure at the same time, like anything, you'll find things that, you know, we wish we'd have maybe done different, but I think we've planned it out pretty well here for us. Hopefully some of the ideas may work for you, and we'll just keep doing some videos. Have a great day.